Seagull and Monkman Horse.
And he's the next one.
Yada, 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 yada. Welcome to LightSpeed Quiz 2019 number 7 in July at Naseby. Today's been written and hosted by Mr. Steve Lacey. I do believe you've got a smattering of questions about...
we're in Northants, so every round will have probably a smattering of questions about Northants for anybody who's revised.
Wow.
And as I'm writing it, there might be some Scottish questions in there as well.
Okay. Best of luck as well to our newbie Alex, Alex Curtis, fulfilling the Curtis quota for today. And welcome back from, he's like the Indiana Jones of Cramlington or wherever you come from. It's Tony Richardson, who actually walked 5 miles in the rain to get here, and he says it wasn't worth it.
Big question, if I press my buzzer, Alex's chair shoots up.
That's another story, let's go.
Okay, welcome to Northants. First round, music incorporating pop, jazz, classical, radio and musicals. So question 1, not chasing cars. In April 2019, the Performing Rights Association, the BMI, announced that after 22 years, which song, written at Ian Fleming's desk at GoldenEye with 15 million plays, had for the first time overtaken You've Lost That Lovin' Feeling to be the most played song on the radio? Steve Kidd.
All the love in the world.
No. Simon?
Happy birthday.
No. Dave?
James Bond theme.
No. Most played song? Michael?
Underneath the mango tree.
Right, moving right along.
Okay, is that every breath you take?
No losses.
Okay, question 2. Between 2001 and 2003, this group released 8 singles, the first 7 of which reached the top 10. They supported Shaggy on his 2002 tour, and in 2004, one of their songs featured as a theme song to the film Catwoman. Who is this group with albums Licking on Both Sides and Eye Candy? Dave?
Pussycat Dolls?
No. Lee?
Destiny's Child?
No. Steve? Kid?
Entrance? No, that's far too late, isn't it?
No. Simon?
Spice Girls.
No. Tony?
Saturdays?
No. Gav?
Dominican.
No. On the right area. Brendan?
Bewitched.
No. Michael?
The Honeys?
No.
Go on.
Obviously made these too hard. Mystique?
Dixon.
No, should have got them both between us.
Question 3. This opera is considered the composer's masterpiece, with an original rejected version and a revised version 3 years later. Seldom performed in either of the two forms and often subjected to cuts and recomposition. Rimsky-Korsakov and Shostakovich created new editions to correct perceived weaknesses in the original. Michael?
Pictures of an exhibition?
No. Minus one.
Careful now.
And though holding stage for decades, the composer's individual harmonic style and orchestration are valued for the originality, and the revisions have fallen out of fashion. What opera, premiered in 1873, is currently being performed with Bryn Terfel as the title character, based on a work by Pushkin? And it's probably the question the nation are asking at the moment. Brendan?
Boris Good Enough.
Boris Good Enough? Yeah.
Yeah. Good, how did you get it from
I
there?
just can't get over how hot you are.
Oh, damn!
Oh, you put in the wrong one.
Question 4. Which musical features the following songs? This Time Next Year, New Ways to Dream, Let's Have Lunch, and The Perfect Year? Michael?
High School Musical?
No. Vince?
My Fair Lady.
No. Steve?
Blood Brothers.
No. Simon?
Greece.
No. Lee?
High Society?
No. Brendan?
Legally Blonde.
No.
It's the new Only Fools and Horses musical.
I thought people would fall in that trap, but no. No, that's another one going. Sunset Boulevard.
How are you feeling guilty now, Steve?
Yeah, set too hard.
Oh.
Set too hard. Not guilty though, no. Question 5. In 1999, Time magazine named this the Song of the Century, and many musicians have covered, sampled and adapted it. In 2002, it was added to the National Registry of the Library of Congress, immortalising it as a song of great significance to the musical heritage of the US. Based on a poem... Chris Bean?
American Pie.
No.
Chris, I'm going to have to...
Based on a poem written in 1938 by the Jewish schoolteacher Abel Meeropol under the pseudonym Lewis Allen. Vince?
Born in the USA.
Nice
No,
guess.
No. About 50 years
Village idiot.
too late. Written in 1930 by the Jewish schoolteacher Abel Meeropol under the pseudonym Lewis Allen. It was suggested he wrote it. Steve?
Over the rainbow.
No.
Gee.
Last one. Tony?
Mac the Knife?
No.
Let me deduct.
You
Who else? Tony, you lost one.
Tony,
Yeah.
yeah. It was suggested...
Not in any universe.
Right. Where are we? It was suggested he wrote it after seeing a photograph of an incident 8 years earlier. The iconic version of the song was recorded in 1939, but many radio stations in the US and abroad blacklisted it, and the singer's label refused to record it. And when the song was toured, some proprietors discouraged the singing of it. It wasn't just the song's political nature that startled and moved listeners, but the haunting manner in which it was performed with simmering rage. What is this song, performed most famously by Billie Holiday? Michael?
Strange Fruit.
Strange.
Oh, way to go!
Wanted to go into just wasn't confident enough.
Magic dance.
38 poem, Jewish, you know.
Question 6. This song, recorded live in Wellingborough, Northants, in a single take during a 6-hour session, was credited to all 4 band members. It is 9 minutes long, with the vocals not starting until several minutes into the track.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
No. Simon?
Shine on you crazy diamond.
No.
Just 1 minute, Michael
Careful now.
And Simon?
and Simon.
No.
Yeah, the vocals not start until several minutes into the track. The sleeve features the 1926 film The Sorrows of Satan. Released in 1979 but not charted until 1983, the lead singers described the song as the...
Green Monday.
No.
Out.
The lead singer has described the song as the stairway to heaven of the post-punk period, and it's been described as the first gothic rock record. It appeared on the band's compilation album Crackle, and the band performed the song over the opening credits to the horror film The Hunger. It's been covered by Chris Cornell, Nine Inch Nails, Trent Reznor, Massive Attack, and Churches over the end credits of the 2014 film Vampire Academy. What is this song that was written after binging on vampire films? So it's done being yet. Dave?
Little Toes Apart.
No. Brendan?
She Sells Sanctuary.
No.
Hang on a minute, so these are not
No,
naked.
that's-
No. Sado?
I'm going to have to go at something. No, sorry.
No. All done? That's Bela Lugosi's Dead by Roundhouse.
Who's that?
Question 7. Coldplay have headlined Glastonbury on 4 occasions, which is the only other band to do so. Dave?
Radiohead.
I've got down as 3, so no.
Okay.
Bean?
Snow Patrol.
No. Michael?
Oasis.
No. Lee?
Rolling Stones.
No. Tony?
The Cure.
The Cure? Yeah.
The prodigal son returns.
Okay, question 8. You've got to listen carefully to this one because this is a mashup of different styles here. The soundtrack album to which Oscar-winning film musical can be seen on the cover of the 1969 Pink Floyd album Ummagumma? Tony?
South Pacific.
No. Steve Kidd?
Oliver.
No. Dave?
Sound of Music.
No. Bean?
Singing in the Rain.
No. Simon?
Mary Poppins.
No. Brendan?
All of the ones I was going to say have already gone.
Okay. Lee?
Oklahoma.
No. Michael?
My Fair Lady.
No. Vince?
West Side Story.
No. So it's all done? No, it's Gigi. It's on the front of the album.
The other one.
It's a horse on there.
Propped up against the wall. Question 9. This woman turned down an opportunity to join Amy Winehouse's band to write and perform her own songs. Her first recognised work was the song It's Christmas and I Hate You, featuring the lyric, "Your mother never liked me and you've got an Oedipus complex. Your father's so self-righteous he thinks he's Malcolm X." She studied for a degree in contemporary dance, an MA in theatre management, worked as a hip-hop dancer, sales assistant, agent provocateur, singer in a burlesque cabaret, bartender, life model and magician's assistant. On film, she's played the girlfriend of the devil. She's appeared on Band Aid 30 and won the Brit for Best British Female Artist in 2015. Who is this long-time favourite of Dave Bill? Steve Kidd?
Jeff Glenn.
No. Michael?
Lily Allen.
No. Dave?
Paloma
Paloma
fucking Faye.
Paloma what, Faye?
Put a pound in the shirt.
No way. Basically, medicine song
I'll put a pound in,
from
don't worry.
Only love can hurt that though. Yeah.
Dave Bill, 2 pints.
Only love can hurt like that.
Question 10. The video for which UK #1 single features the singer's father's second cousin rather than the singer. Dave?
It's the Lewis Capaldi try. Somebody You Love.
Yeah, especially yeah. Lewis Capaldi, Someone You Loved. Yeah.
Red tip
After the
genius.
they want to gain as much awareness for the organ donation. Yeah, start Peter Capaldi. Question 11.
Reset, please.
Very good answer. Very good answer.
One for Gavin. Recalling a scene from Only Fools and Horses, what is the miracle which gave Haydn's Symphony No. 96 its name? Steve?
The Miracle of the Wedding at Cana.
No. Simon?
Miracle of the Falling Chandelier.
It is. The Falling Chandelier. Yeah.
One more turn down.
Is that really the Bible?
Question 12. I want the original name for this, not what it might have been called later. So this film theme music was composed and named after a 1968 psychological thriller. Little seen now, but controversial at the time due to the main protagonist pretending to be intellectually impaired, leading to producers inserting a voiceover warning at the beginning. Starring Hyle Bennett and Hayley Mills, the film's theme is repeatedly played throughout the film in various formats, on a record player at a party and whistled in the street. The theme was composed by long-time Hitchcock collaborator Bernard Herrmann. What is this theme that garnered much more attention 35 years later when Tarantino used it in the theme for Kill Bill? Steve?
Death by Power and No.
No? Bean?
Turret's gun.
Sorry?
Sorry.
No? Simon?
It's not. I'll go with Misery Lube. I'm just not sure it's not.
No. Dave?
Is it Woohoo?
No.
88,
I think you're singing it, but it's not the
Oh,
same.
yeah, I know what it is.
Michael?
The Omen. No, no, no.
Is it Bang Bang?
It's Twisted Nerve. It's
Twisted
one of
Nerve.
those da da da
Yeah,
da da.
No, I'm thinking of a different one anyway. So.
Question 13. Nigella Lawson, Cleaning Out My Closet. Ian Duncan Smith, My City of Ruins. Paul Whitehouse, God Save the Queen. George Clooney, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, the William Shatner version. We're all
I'm going to go for Desert Island Discs.
all their choices on Desert Island Discs. Yeah.
Wow.
Jolly good.
It's still hard to come by.
Question 14. Rezo Ceres wrote this crushingly bleak song that went through a number of revisions, amended by poet Laszlo Javak and translated by the English lyricists Sam Lewis and Desmond Carter. The 1941 version added a less pessimistic third verse, but the song's reputation persisted and radio stations throughout the world deemed it too dangerous to broadcast. The BBC ban was only lifted in 2002. Despite such bans, the song continued to be recorded and sold, and is said to be so depressing that if you heard it, you might be plunged into a bottomless pit of despair. It's not even Westlife. Reports in Hungary, where the song originated, suggest the lyrics were used in countless suicide notes. It developed a reputation as the suicide song, and 1968 saw both the death of the composer after he jumped out of the window, and Tony Hancock, who'd chosen the song with Desert Island Discs. What is this song covered most famously again in 1941 by Billie Holiday? Steve?
Don't know.
Nobody know it?
No.
Sounds
No.
like the Smiths book.
No, it's called Gloomy Sunday. Question 15. I'm not sure if we've had this one, so we'll see. The best known recording of this song notably includes the drummer yelling the F word after dropping his drumstick at the 54-second mark. And it was the subject of an FBI investigation about the supposed but non-existence of the obscenity of the lyrics that ended without prosecution. It tells the first-person story of a Jamaican sailor returning to the island to see his lady love, and by some accounts... Simon?
Back the knife.
No.
Sorry, Simon.
By some accounts...
Hold
it's-
it. Sorry.
Sorry?
Nope.
By some accounts, it's the world's most recorded rock song with over 1,600 versions and counting. What is this song written by Richard Berry in 1955, who said,
Johnny Be Good?
no,
Out.
who has said there shouldn't be a comma between the two words? Steve?
Splish splash.
No.
Well, good question. Go on.
No? Oh, Michael?
No.
I thought you might have written it, but obviously I was wrong. But yeah.
Go
No.
on.
Give up? No? Louis? I've got the impression I've written these two.
I think these are excellent questions. They're like learn something new every
The
day.
Kingsmen in there might have been in there.
Yeah.
I suspect if Tony Walmsley were here,
Yeah.
You might have
got
got
a substantial lead by now.
Question 16. Noel Coward remarked about what musical that the show was longer than Gotterdammerung and not nearly as funny. Written by Lerner and Lowe, its original Broadway production featured Richard Burton, Julie Andrews and Roddy McDowall, and features the songs C'est Moi, I Loved You Once in Silence, What Do the Simple Folk Do, The Simple...
Oh, damn.
Michael?
Camelot?
Tis Camelot? Yeah.
Thank you, Michael.
Hey.
Thank you.
You can say something else.
Magic dots.
Bailed me out.
Okay, question 17. That's right. I once interviewed this woman's grandmother in Northampton, who was naturally very proud of her granddaughter, who, while still at school, signed to the British label Music of Life. Her success with the hip-hop group, the She-Rockers, led her to New York, supporting Public Enemy on tour, who encouraged her to pursue a solo career. Of mixed Malaysian and Scottish ancestry, she's said to have an unusual striking Emma Peel appearance. The Guardian described her as a mixture of Buck Rogers and Barbarella. Their big break came as a guest vocalist on a 1989 single. Her solo career effectively ended in 1993, and she turned to songwriting for others, including Girls Aloud, Louise Nerding. Michael?
Kathy Dennis?
No.
Got me out of jail there.
Louise Nerding, Danny Minogue, Sophie Alex Bextor, Hearsay and the Tweenies. In 2006, she formed the pop duo Wigwam with Alex James from Blur, but only released one single. Who is this woman with the real name Alison Clarkson? Lee?
Betsy Boo.
It was Betty Boo. Yeah.
It's been close there.
Oh, sorry.
The Oracle
Sorry.
speaks.
I'll come out in the wash.
Okay. Artist, musician, writer and record producer Bill Drummond, who like me moved to Corby from Scotland, started his musical career with the group Big in Japan with Budgie, Ian Brody and Holly Johnson.
I'm going to go for KLF.
Sadly not.
That's what I was saying. I was just
Yeah,
Jumped in
no,
there. It's, yeah.
fair
Too
enough.
quick. Worked with the Teardrop Explodes and Strawberry Switchblade. As a duo, he's had chart success with the Time Lords, Justified Ancients and Moo Moo and the KLF. Famously burning £1 million on Jura, although surely not as big a mistake as turning down the chance to do Scotland's 1998 World Cup song. That's the preamble, the actual question. In the 80s, as a manager, he booked a seemingly random tour around the Hebrides and northern Scotland. However, when traced on a map, it formed the shape of giant rabbit ears for the tour of which appropriately named group. Michael?
Echo the Bunnymen?
Echo and the Bunnymen? Yeah.
Magic dots.
Possibly Chosen Days, but
Question 19. The Brit Awards given for Best British Group, the four Brit Awards given for Best British Group between 2000 and 2003 were shared two each by Coldplay and which other group? It's been?
Bills Allowed?
No. Michael?
Oasis?
No. Dave?
Even though they're not British, U2.
No. Steve Kidd?
Gomez.
No. Vince?
Arctic Monkeys.
No. Tony?
Stereophonics.
No. Simon?
what are they called? I forgot the name of them. Bloody Welsh lot. Inspired Man.
No. Brendan?
I'm trying to think of that bloody Welsh
How soon I've forgotten. Yeah.
Yeah, I remembered them now. Can I have another?
No. Blur.
No. Lee?
Bills Allowed? No. Deserve to be Love Goes Allowed.
Got it? Travis?
Travis. Gomez was in here.
That's a
Take me with that.
I'm
I'm right.
trying to think of.
Okay, and the last one in this round.
Preset,
Sorry,
please.
yeah. Last one in this round. This song reached number 11 in the UK chart with lyrics referencing several Nick Rogue films. The video featured clips from Rogue's films, and the song has dialogue samples by Mick Jagger taken from Rogue's film performance. Other lyrics reference Rogue's films, including Space Guy Fell from the Sky from The Man Who Fell to Earth, Don't Like No Aborigine from Walkabout, Met a Dwarf Who's No Good from Don't Look Now, and referencing characters in his film Insignificance. Senators a hoodlum for Joe McCarthy, Hall of Fame baseball for Joe DiMaggio, Queen of the Sack for Marilyn Monroe, and King of Brains for Albert Einstein. What is this single from 1986? Michael?
Sledgehammer.
No. Steve?
I'm for the go-go.
No. Dave?
Chicken song.
No.
Oh,
B?
We didn't start the fire.
No.
I thought that might.
That was a good
Yeah,
bit.
right.
All done?
Yeah.
So Einstein was the clue at the end. Equals MC squared. Okay. So we've got art, incorporating art, architecture, food, language and literature. So question 1. This building has 2 galleries and 2 performance spaces, the largest of which is the ceiling 6 stories high. It has a remit for multidiscipline artistic innovation. It commissions, produces and presents a wide range of activities in performing arts, visual arts and pop culture. The artistic director is Scotsman Alex Poots. Its arrival has been compared to that of MoMA in the 20s or the Lincoln Centre in the 60s. What is this $500 million building, opened in April this year, the first major new arts venue for decades in New York? It's been?
Manhattan Centre?
No. Michael?
Guggenheim, New York.
No.
No.
All done? Yep. Oh, one more. Simon?
Madison Round Gardens.
No. No. Don't know you're going to get it. It's called The Shed.
Is it near those statues?
I'm not sure.
You know the girl and the bull?
That's Wall Street.
That's Wall Street, yeah. Okay, question 2. Installed in Kingston, London in 1989 by David Mack, a professor of sculpture at the Royal Academy and a Turner Prize nominee, and refurbished this year. What was the name of this sculpture that featured 12 red falling telephone boxes? Steve?
Ah!
Michael?
Alexander Graham Bell.
That's a good guess.
No. Brendan?
It's for you.
Can we just wait for Simon's answer and then we'll
B.
move on?
Reverse the charges.
No. You're in the right area. No. Steve?
Will you take this call?
No. Vince?
Talking clock.
No. Simon?
Descending Bells.
No. So that's all done?
Yeah.
Out of order. Question 3. Wholly set in and around and exploring the town of Northampton through several characters and named after the William Blake poem Jerusalem is a 1200-page epic combining historical and supernatural fiction, drawn on a range of writing styles. The author describes it as a work of genetic mythology. Who is the author, best known for his graphic novels Watchmen and V for Vendetta?
Moore.
Yep. Number 4. Yep. This painting was painted in 1951 and bought with its intellectual property rights in 1952 for $8,200, a price considered high at the time, although it's now earned back the original cost many times over. It won a poll to decide Scotland's favourite painting with 29% of the vote. The painting has continued to cause controversy. At the time of its purchase, the verdict by modern art critics was that producing such a traditional painting was a stunt. In 2009, the Guardian art critic described it as kitsch and lurid, but noted that the painting was, better or worse, probably the most enduring vision of this event painted in the 20th century. Housed in Glasgow's Kelvin Grove Art Gallery, what is this Salvador Dali painting?
Who remember it? Next.
No. Michael?
No, the Bullfighter.
No. Simon?
Vanilla Cabers being tossed.
No, sadly not. Lee?
Timage disaster.
No. No, it's going well, this. No. It's Christ of St. John of the Cross. It's the one looking down from the top.
Ah. Should do it.
Question 5. Mbege, M-B-E-G-E, is a traditional brew of the Chaga ethnic group of the people of Tanzania, located in the Kilimanjaro region. It's an alcoholic drink made from the fermentation of which fruit? Michael?
Bananas.
Correct. You've drunk a few.
All
Magic
the time,
dots.
yes.
All over this one, Michael. The score's at 4, 0-0-0-0-0-0. Oh, Charlie's got 8. Charlie's beaten him.
What building is the third to occupy this site after disastrous fires in 1808 and 1856? The third and present building opened there 2 years later. It went under major reconstruction in the 90s, with the last building phase saw the addition of the striking...
I'm going to go for the Globe.
No.
You've got to crack a few eggs.
Saw the addition of the striking glass and iron floral hall. The huge crystal chandelier that was once there was removed and made into two smaller chandeliers which can still be seen in the crush room, named for the lemon and orange crush that was enjoyed by the Victorian audiences. During World War II it became a dance hall. The main auditorium sits over 2,200 people, making it the third largest in London. Modelled on Italian designs, popular in the 19th century, its horseshoe shape means every seat can hear the performer, and Queen Victoria was said to attend performances there up to 4 times a week. Spin?
Palladium?
No. Michael?
Theatre Royal.
No. Dave?
Royal Hall.
No.
Oof.
Simon?
Alexandra Palace.
No. Tony?
Royal Opera House?
Royal Opera House? Yeah.
The prodigal son returns.
Never gets old.
Question 7. Born in Aldwinkle, Northants, about 25 miles from here, in 1668, who became England's first official poet laureate? Michael?
Dryden?
It is Dryden? Yeah.
Lee, just 5 minutes.
Then you.
Michael, get it there.
Magic dots.
Question 8. This man was influential on European design movements such as Art Nouveau and Successionism. Despite being accused of being a German spy and briefly arrested in 1915, between 1916 and 1917 he extensively remodelled 78 Derngate, a listed building in the centre of Northampton, to provide a unique example of a house designed by which noted architect?
Here you go, Jones.
No.
Vanbrugh.
No. Dave?
Frank Lloyd Wright.
No. Bean?
Wren?
No. Tony?
Nash?
No. Lee?
Hawksmoor?
No.
Alex, how long's your list of that noted architects?
Power? Power?
No. Simon?
Albert Ross.
No.
John Paulson. That's it. Have we done with noted architects?
I suppose I could have asked.
Impie? No.
No, that's it. I could have asked. You also designed the Glasgow School of Art. If that had helped, but yeah, Charles Rennie McIntosh.
Yeah, put clues in like that.
So clues in like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Reset again, that's it.
Reset.
But only after Dave Bill's name.
Okay, question 9. At the job exchange, when Mr. Keeble, the job broker, interviews the character of Death, when Death is considering a change of career, as written by Terry Pratchett, Mr. Keeble tells Death, "It would seem that you have no useful skill or talent whatsoever. Have you thought of going into what?" Okay,
Politics.
good answer, but no. To Brendan.
That's what I was going to say. Teaching?
Correct, teaching.
Ashton Davis, are you listening? Brendan.
I just can't get over how hot you are.
Teaching will spring to mind first. Question 10. German poet and artist Baroness Elsa von Freytag-Lorenhoven, described as a wild woman who wore tin cans for a bra, was a raucous proto-punk part of the Dada movement, described as a marginal figure in art history. Museums may not have budged in reattribution, but evidence now suggests it was she who found this seminal object. It wasn't until 1950, long after the Baroness's death, that a male artist began to take credit for this piece and authorised replicas. However, it is inscribed with the name of one of her friends and in her handwriting, whilst he said he'd bought it from an ironworks company with this name, although the company didn't manufacture the model. What is this object signed R. Mutt? Tony?
Is it urinal?
It is, yeah, it's urinal fountain. Yeah,
Duchamp?
The prodigal son
yeah,
returns.
claiming credit for it. Yeah. Question 11. Twice listed for the Booker Prize, which Scottish author born in 1918 received an OBE in 1967, a damehood in 1993, and used the pseudonym Aquarius. She's perhaps best known for her work adapted for the screen in the 60s, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie.
Sparks. Sparks.
Yeah,
Singular.
singular, yeah. Singular spark.
Magic dots.
And lit, Michael. 8 points. Tony 4. Me -1.
Okay, question 12. In 2002, the City of Edinburgh instituted this post with each incumbent's term lasting 3 years. Other cities to create the post include Glasgow, Stirling, Aberdeen and Dundee. In 2004, the Scottish Parliament established a national one, with Edwin Morgan being the first to be appointed, who was succeeded in 2011 by Liz Lockhead, and Jackie Kay was announced as the third holder of the post in 2016. What is the name of the position of the National Laureate? Dave?
No, I can see Laurie, but yeah.
No, no.
No. Simon?
Bard?
No. Brendan?
That's exactly what I was going to say as well.
No. Dean?
Sheriff.
It's Michael?
No, I can't do it.
No. Vince?
Minstrel?
No.
Yeah.
Struggling here, aren't we? Yeah. No, it's nobody else? Yeah, it's called Scots Macar, the National Laureate.
Oh.
Question 13. The first line of which famous crime novel begins? It was 5 o'clock on a winter's morning.
I don't know.
No. Nice one. It was 5 o'clock.
1984. No,
It was 5 o'clock on a winter's morning in
You've
Syria.
got to crack a few eggs.
Vince?
Murder on the Orient
It is. Murder on the Orient Express.
Ah.
Syria bit.
I was there, yeah.
I thought that from Winter. Syria,
The genius of Bletchingham.
Okay. Question 14. This is the method to make what foodstuff? Heat the vegetable oil, add chopped meat and mix with cooked onions, season with salt and pepper, add stock to the pan with Worcestershire sauce. To make the pastry, use your fingers to mix flour. Lee?
Wellington?
No. No. To mix flour, salt, suet and grated butter with water and beaten egg to form a smooth dough. Spoon the meat filling into one half of the pastry. Bean?
College pasty.
No. Michael?
Shepherd's pie.
No.
I was thinking of that. Right, Bean,
Out.
Michael McPartland.
Yeah.
Careful now.
So you spoon the meat filling into one half of the pastry and 2 to 3 ripe pears into the other half, with a moulded pastry in the centre to separate the two fillings. That's Dave.
Is that a Bedfordshire clanger?
It is a Bedfordshire clanger, yeah. Got your meat and your dessert on each side.
Eat which end. Just make sure you eat the right end
That's
first.
good, yeah. Question 15. Jackdaws love my big sphinx of quartz, and how peaked gymnasts can level 6 jumping razorback frogs are both examples of,
Centred with every letter of the alphabet in.
yeah, pangrams.
Oh, is it Pangram?
Yeah.
Jolly good.
Question 16. Yeah, you're probably looking at the record, the chances of getting this one are probably slight as well.
This is one of the hard ones, people.
The National Portrait Gallery is currently running a major new retrospective of which photographer, famous for her use of makeup, costumes, props and prosthetics to create complex and ambiguous photographic images. She invents fictitious characters, photographing herself in imaginary situations.
Linda McCarthy.
No. Simon?
Leni Reichenstall.
No. Michael?
Leibovitz.
No. It's all the photographers we know. Yeah.
Let's go.
Cindy Sherman.
Ah, Cindy.
Reset.
What a god.
Hello, Gavin. Oh, where are we here today? When the science round coming up?
Yeah, it's my side track. 17. Come, children, let us shut up the box and the puppets, for our play is played out. Is the last line from which famous novel?
So I thought it was going to be something else. No.
Question over.
Steve?
Alice in Wonderland.
No. I haven't got a buzz from you.
No.
I've got Michael next.
Little Women.
No. Chris?
Peter Pan.
No.
Give Simon a shot as well, because I think he's
Yeah, go
both.
on.
Vince.
I've got Bean. You said yours, Vince.
Wind in the Willows.
No. Had it recently, I'm sure, in the last LightSpeed Quiz, this one. No.
No.
Okay. Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
This artist was the son and grandson of artists and followed the family tradition. Born in Bavaria, He later took lessons from Whistler, whose limited tonal range is reflected in his works. On the advice of Degas, whom he met while studying in Paris, he made detailed preliminary drawings for his paintings rather than painting them for life. In his youth, he'd been an actor, and his lifelong interest in the theatre is recalled in many of his paintings. He painted portraits with rather seedy genre subjects and murky landscapes. As a teacher... Tony?
Friedrich?
No. As a teacher, he wielded enormous influence on British artists of the early 20th century. Some in the art world have accused the author, Patricia Cornwell, of destroying one of his paintings in search of his DNA to support her claim that which artist was Jack the Ripper. It's Michael?
Stuckert, is it? I don't know where.
No.
Stickert's in, isn't it?
Yeah. Give that? Yeah. Yeah,
Magic
sicker.
dots.
Okay, question 19. The best... Sorry. Yeah, the best-selling... You got it? Yeah. Best-selling graphic novel of 2018 by Posey Simmons was Cassandra Dark, about an art dealer who was influenced by which of Dickens' works? Steve?
Bleak House.
No. Dean?
Tale of Two Cities.
No. Michael?
Hard Times.
No. Dave?
Great Expectation.
No. Simon?
Nicholas Nickleby.
No. Tony?
Or Curiosity Shop.
No. Vince?
And she drew.
Lee?
Valerie Rouge.
We're going through all our Dickens. Brendan?
Little Dorrit.
No. Gavin?
Troddenwhip.
No.
What have you got?
I don't think we've said it. I'm sure we didn't say it. Is that it?
Go on, Alex. Do you want to go?
Alex?
Oliver.
No.
Don't be to no Matt and Chisel, mate.
No.
Well, we've run out now. There aren't any left.
There's one left. Christmas Carol left.
Christmas Carol.
Oh, that's all.
Everything.
I was going to say that one.
Novel or
Controversy. Reset.
Okay.
Yeah, no, follow it.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. This painting was painted in 1929, and in November last year it was sold at a record price for the artist's work. Although the scene of the painting takes place in a social environment, there's the sense of loneliness prevalent. Every human figure is isolated and withdrawn from one another. The... Dave?
Night Hawks.
No.
Oh, lucky David. Thanks for that.
Good guess.
Bailing a few with that, I reckon.
The only features being shown in particular detail are the painted woman's face, the coat hanging above her, her companion's back, the features of the couple in the background, the teapot on the table, the masked lower window panel, and the restaurant sign outside. What is this Edward Hopper painting set in a second-floor Chinese restaurant? You're close. Simon?
It sounds like brief encounters in the scene, but okay.
No. Dean?
Chop Suey.
It is Chop Suey.
Okay.
Wrong one, I knew it.
Your second Edward Hopper painting.
At the end of that round, Steve gets 0, Gavin Tillman 0. 0's a great score, by the way. Chris Bean 1, Dave Bill 1, Sam Chump 0, Alex Curtis 0, Michael McPartland for leaving to last, Brendan Curtis 2, Lee -1, Vince O'Connor 2, Tony Richardson Credible 4, Michael McPartland 9, and Ninja.